the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I
BetUS, America's favorite sportsbook and casino. Live betting and racebook. We're celebrating 30 years with a historic offer. A 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Plus 10% gambler's insurance. Get started today. BetUS, where the game begins.
30 years, historic 125% bonus. The link is in the description of the video. Y'all hit that like button on your way in the building. This stream is being powered by none other than BetUS, ladies and gentlemen. Take advantage of the opportunity with BetUS. So take that 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,500 each. All right, 24/7 customer service if you need help, and 24-hour fast and easy payouts. All right. BetUS, get in the game. Right now, I am looking at some of the lines with BetUS as I share my screen to show you guys. The Dolphins have moved up to the 5th favorite team in the AFC, only trailing the Kansas City Chiefs, Baltimore Ravens, Cincinnati Bengals, and the Buffalo Bills. We are still ahead of the New York Jets, all right? The Houston Texans, the Chargers, Jacksonville, Cleveland, all of them. All right. So how do we beat Kansas City? How do we beat Baltimore? How do we beat Cincinnati and Buffalo? You know, it's funny, you know, the teams that are ahead of us, we always have a problem with. We just can't seem to beat. How can we get over that hump so that if I bet $100 on it, I can win 1,000 by betting on the Miami Dolphins. How do I feel good about that? We're going to talk about that and more tonight on what moves the team can make to really be a Super Bowl winning team this year. I'm one of those individuals who's a firm believer that we are in a window, and that window is closing fast for us, and we got to take advantage of it. Okay. So again, go check out BetUS, receive that deposit, and let your friends and family members know about it as well. Supporting our sponsors is supporting the channel. All right, y'all, let's dive into it. I know that this is late night. We're doing a late night stream. Shout out to Southside Brooklyn Media in the house. I appreciate you being a member for 20 months. Said my dog, salute to you, homie. Salute to you, and thank you for your dedicated membership, bro. 20 months and rolling. I really do appreciate that, homie. Thanks so much, man. Glenn in the house. All right. He said, I hate today. I do not know what is real news or fake news. So far, everything is fake. Yeah, I don't expect any news today. Unfortunately, I wish that, Vontae Davis news was fake, but it wasn't. So that was one tough little piece of the day. Prayers to him and his family. I've been saying that all day. But seriously though, keep them in your thoughts and prayers. If you're an individual of faith that want to, send some good prayers their way. All right. We don't know what happened, but that family definitely probably is going through right now. So that's something man, life, 35 years old, and he's no longer with us. You can't take it for granted. You gotta, thank God every day for giving you breath in your lungs, man. But yeah, that was one of the tough parts of the day. All that other stuff, it's April Fool's Day. It's what people do. Try to fool you and have fun with it. It's just the climate we're in. It's just the climate we're in. All right, so I promised you all earlier today that I would come back to you all today. Wanted to do earlier, but I will, hosting my parents. They're in town, so we've been hanging out. So I want to go ahead and handle the 10 questions that were asked of me earlier. The questions I'll be answering tonight are: how much longer do we suffer with Tua? Next one is: why not go get Reddit instead of the Jets? Why didn't we do it? The next one is: are we really Super Bowl contenders? The next question is: why haven't all the other big time quarterbacks won a Super Bowl yet? All right. Excuse me. Another one is: Jonathan Smith going to be our wide receiver 3, or are we going to invest in a wide receiver 3? Also, most likely aspect Dolphins fail in this year. What is the most likely aspect? I'll discuss that. Number 7 on here is Miami. Will Miami have a good draft this year? Number 8 is one positive thing I see happening this year. Number 9, drafting a backup quarterback. My thoughts. And number 10, what's the cap looking like? We're going to handle all 10 of those. All right. We're going to handle all 10 of those. And sometime tomorrow after we handle all 10, I'll clip almost every single one of them and put them in their own individual videos. Now y'all going to get me in trouble because that first question that y'all asked me, which is how much longer do we suffer with Tua, I'll clip that tomorrow and put that as the title because you asked it. They're going to come for me tomorrow. See, his channel is just so negative, hating on Tua. Why would you make a video saying how much longer do we suffer with Tua? Gosh, man. I'm just taking care of y'all. I'm answering your questions, but I'll make it its own video. All right. But, that's how it works. Let's go ahead and dive in without further ado. Let's get it done. Please, ladies and gentlemen, punch that like button. Okay, go ahead and punch that like button right now on the channel. If you are new to this channel, go ahead and subscribe to TD Fans Talk right now. All right, go ahead and subscribe. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna race to 30,000 this off season. Okay, we're gonna try to get to 30,000 by the beginning of the season. We're at 29,000 now. Haven't celebrated it at all because this is the season where I tick people off. So I expect to go under the 29,000. So that's just the climate that we're in. Also, I've been doing a whole lot of letting people know that I love God and I love Jesus. So my subscriber count has been going down, but It's all good. And I urge those who feel the same way to don't ever let somebody, suppress how you feel about your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Just letting you know. All right, let's get it done. Cap for Life in the building. What's up, homie? Ronnie in the building. What up? Truly thankful. Salute. Love you, brother. Billy Batson in the house. The top shelf cards. Josh Allen is the next Elway. Oh man, please. Frederick Dunlap, salute to you. Love to see you here, man. Glenn, always rocking with us, showing love. Om Naram, my brother. That's what I'm talking about. And John Featherland, man. Thank everybody who's tuning in right now. Again, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to TD Fans Talk right now. All right. Let's go ahead and get it done, ladies and gentlemen. So here we are. First question asked of the night from subscribers. How much longer do we suffer with Tua? Man, that's a tough question. Because the question is also filled with assumptions. So first off, are we suffering with Tua? Let me know what you think in the chat. Are we actually suffering with Tua? I can understand why the question is asked, though, because you're either a guy or gal who believes that Tua can win a Super Bowl, or you're an individual who's like, no matter what we do, we're not going to win a Super Bowl with this guy. So I think that question just depends on who you are and what perspective, what you believe. That question has to be answered first. So let's talk about time frames, though. How much longer has a lot to do with what Chris Grier decides to do this offseason. I know all the April Fool's jokes came out today about, hey, Tua just got his massive deal, breaking news, ESPN, fake accounts, 57 million a year and all of that stuff. I was actually shocked at the outrage of the people who actually believed it. I was actually shocked at how many people in those fake posts in the comment section believed it and were just outraged. I was shocked. But I do think that the smartest of fans, even if you love Tua and you want Tua, you don't want to pay $55 million. You don't even want to pay $50 million. I was talking to my brother-in-law who, in my opinion, he likes Tua, that's the sense I get from him all the time, but he feels like Tua's like a $35, $38 million quarterback. I'll be fine with that, and that was fair because I know he has an unbiased opinion on the whole matter. But the reality is he's going to get a bag. He's going to get a big bag. I could see the number being over 47 million a year. Why? I don't know. I don't feel like it's justified, but I don't determine what's justified. Chris Grier does. And I also feel like he has to protect his decisions in the first place by at least giving the perception that he's worth over $50 million. So when they sign him on this contract, which I believe is inevitable, what we don't know that's happening on the backside of things is Tua playing hardball and saying, I want 50 plus? And even if he is Grier willing to give him that? See, we don't know anything about this situation. We don't know what Chris Grier's max is and what he's willing to do. Excuse me. We don't know. We have no clue. So at the end of the day, how much longer do we suffer with Tua? What if Tua comes out this year and has an MVP year and, takes us to a Super Bowl? Win or lose? I don't know if we're suffering with Tua. The problem is, because it could be worse. Y'all know how we were in the past, right? The problem of it is this. We're suffering with the Miami Dolphins. I don't want to put it on Tua. I don't want to put it on a player or a coach. I think that we're suffering with the Miami Dolphins. How much longer do we suffer with the Miami Dolphins? That's the question. Now, I know people say that's not a question because no matter how stupid they are or how many bad decisions they make, I'm still going to be a fan and I'm going to root for them. You're right. That's fair. But the reality is that's the stem of the issues, the decisions that we make as an organization. So at the end of the day, this is one of those decisions. Do you give Tua a long-term deal when he hasn't proven anything yet? We've seen guys not get a deal that have accomplished more, that have done more. You know, at the end of the day, Tua Tagovailoa, what if he's just that type of quarterback that feeds off of the weak? When things are easy, he can feel easy and play easy. But when things are hard, he can't elevate to that next level and play on that next level in the clutches of moments. See, some people say that that's moving the goalposts, but that's the reality in the NFL. That's the reality in the NFL. And Glenn said, we seeing guys get contracts that done less. How that's working out for them guys, Glenn? How is that working out for those guys? See, this isn't a urine match, I guess is the clean way of saying it. This isn't the, well, Tua's better than this guy or that guy, and he got money and he's done less, and da 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 da. We're not comparing here, bro. Because other teams make stupid decisions. So please tell me the quarterback that got paid that did less, and I'll show you a quarterback where it's not working out. And here's why that's the easy one. It's not working out because if you've done less than Tua, then you haven't been successful. You haven't won anything. So any quarterback that you think you can name, that means they've been less successful. Their results in what they've gotten, how far they've gotten in the playoffs, or have they even gone to the playoffs? How did they play in the playoffs? So anybody who's gotten the money that has done less than Tua, how did that work out? So this isn't to say, well, if he did, then Tua should. No. How is it working out for those individuals if you want to make a case for anybody? If you want to bring up Herbert, how has it been working out? So it's not a justification. And that's the problem. Everybody wants to compare Tua with somebody and try to justify through comparison. Why? Because Tua finally has a few things that you can argue for him with. But how has it worked out for those other guys you want to compare him with? And let's not sit here and ignore the fact that we know what Tua is. Let me tell y'all something. See, you know what? I don't even care. I'm going to go there tonight. I told you over the next month, I expect to lose subscribers and stuff. So I'm going to go there as often as I can. Let's talk about some facts here instead of feelings. I don't care. Let's talk about some facts versus feelings. Okay. What's wrong with some people? You believe in him and that he's going to turn it around and be the guy, fine. But when we have intelligent, non-ignorant conversations, what's wrong with some people? Why am I asking that question? What in the heck has he proven in 4 years in the NFL? Not one thing. And the laughable part about it is it's almost embarrassing when you really look at the resume, let me give y'all one even better. Let's wipe out the first 2 years of Brian Flores and let's only talk about the last 2 years. It's still embarrassing. Let's go back to 2 years ago. First of all, let's get something straight. Nobody cares about no week 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Yeah, the games matter, but nobody's looking for somebody in those games to start determining whether they're clutch or they're big time. Nobody. Can you have big time moments and big games and comebacks in those weeks? Yeah. And you could recognize it to say, I wonder, is this a trend so we could call this person that? But nobody's judging nobody on no early in the season. Another thing, common sense. Nobody cares about when you play scrubs. Oh, stop tripping, bro. Those are NFL teams. Stop. Every year there's literally 7 teams that are complete bums in this league that nobody respects, and they get trampled by almost everybody. Yeah, on a rare occasion, they beat a good team any given Sunday, but nobody respects it. You think somebody's saying the Titans beat the Dolphins? Man, they're better than we thought. No. And when the Dolphins lost to the Titans, they just laughed at the Dolphins, even though they still know the Dolphins are the better team. Nobody cares about. Now, this is a real conversation. Not all that emotional stuff just to make you feel secure about yourself to prove your point. Nobody cares. Everybody knows the real dogs show up when it's do or die. And there ain't no do or die scenarios that start before week 12. There are no do or die situations in the NFL that start before week 11 or 12. There aren't. Those are all the first 11 weeks are all the games, people feeling out who you are as a team and what your identity is. Now let's put it to test at the end of the season. Those are the games that matter. When Josh Allen has 6 games remaining and they determine we're in trouble, we got to win every game to salvage the season. That's when do or die mattered. That's when do or die mattered. 2 years ago, when we went to go play the Chargers after we were like 8-3 or whatever it was, when we lost to the Chargers and got demolished, it wasn't do or die. Shame on us, but it wasn't do or die. When we played San Francisco, it ain't do or die, but you don't want to lose this game. Shame on us, we lost. Now, even though we still got a little bit of a lead, this Buffalo game, you can't drop 3 in a row. Now we're starting to feel the do or die. It ain't do or die, but we feeling it. Shame on us, we lost. Oh, heck no. Green Bay do or die. Green Bay do or die. Lost, of course. Then we didn't see our quarterback anymore for the rest of that season. Think we care something about the Lions, Bears, and Browns game 2 years ago? Only thing that matters from the quarterback position, are you one of the individuals that show up big in the big moments? And I'm so sick of everybody with this narrative right here. Well, you can't blame the losses on Tua, but we can acknowledge that he contributed to them. See, this is where you get it wrong, ladies and gentlemen. You can blame the losses on Tua. You know why? If he didn't contribute to it, you might look up and we might have won, even with all the other flaws. There's teams that turn the ball over and everything, but if that quarterback play lights out, guess what? They still survived and won. Wow. See, and this is what we don't understand. When you have the highest paid position in the league by far, it comes with the greater responsibility. I gotta be honest with y'all. I'm tired of the general cliche cop out that even ex-NFL and current NFL players use. It's all a cop out to save face. It's a team sport. Shut up. It ain't no team sport when the quarterback making 50 million and the next player making 25. It ain't a team sport whenever the quarterback, when you win the big game, the only person they want to talk to is the quarterback. Well, nobody really played well in the game. How did the quarterback play? He wasn't great. How do you think the result would have been if he was great? Well, it's not his fault that the receiver dropped the ball. I'm talking about the part of him not being great that he controlled. That bad throw, that terrible interception, that holding on to the ball too long. That fumble. Stop talking to me about what everybody else did. Let's address what the quarterback does by himself, solely by himself. And if he didn't do those things, what would the outcome have been? But we don't want to talk about that. Well, we might have won if he did that, but if the receiver didn't drop the ball, we might have won too. And if the lineman wouldn't have did this, we might have won too. Yeah. So if we talk about linemen, shame on that lineman. They contributed to us losing the game. Shame on that receiver for dropping the ball. They contributed to us losing the game. But why it's so hard for us to keep that same energy with the quarterback? Because the problem that I have today above all, is that in the biggest moment, at what point do we look at what's happening in the NFL now? We know that it takes a team to perform well to have a successful season and X, Y, and Z. But when your team is performing well and the other team is performing well, it comes down to the quarterback. When your team is performing bad and the other team is performing bad, it still comes down to the quarterback. See, when we talk about the whole team, we're talking about a multitude of factors. This is why the most important factor is the quarterback, because the quarterback can influence things at a greater rate than all the small factors. You got an elite quarterback who can influence everything and ball out in the biggest moment. That can erase 10 of the other factors, the screw-ups around them. But we're just more focused on handling all 10 of those screw-ups and trying to address those. See, that's why we always been hustling backwards in Miami, because all we focus on, well, if we fix these 20 issues on the team, we could win a Super Bowl. And the sad thing is, one of the 20 is already the quarterback, right? But they not thinking to themselves, if you just fix the quarterback, you can absorb 10 of those issues and don't worry about them being there. You still got to fix some other things, but you can absorb about 10 of those issues just by great quarterback play. But most people don't think analytical. They don't think in depth about this game. Some people don't even care about this team the way that they make it seem like they do. Some people want to prove a point more than they care about the team. I wonder how that point being proven has been going for the last 4 years. But we still want to prove it. It ain't that serious. It really isn't. It's really not that serious. And we swear up and down that we want to win a Super Bowl. Shout out to Nicholas Yacone. Said, why can't we stop Josh Allen? Because he better than our quarterback. It's like one of the most simple answers there is to it that people don't want to acknowledge. Why can't we stop Josh Allen? Because he's better than our quarterback. Do you ever watch the Bills play the Chiefs? The Chiefs don't stop Josh Allen. And the Bills don't stop Patrick Mahomes. But Patrick Mahomes get the better because he does the one or two things more than Josh Allen. But when you compare Josh Allen on the field versus Tua on the field, it ain't even close. When you compare Mahomes on the field and Tua on the field, it ain't even close. Tell me y'all wasn't surprised at how well our defense technically played against the Chiefs. I mean, they actually held it down for the most part in the game, as long as they could. They were actually shocking us in the game. They were actually playing. I mean, think about the second half, what they did to the Chiefs. We want to talk about, our defense derailed our season. You mean our two defensive ends, but our defense played that well? And we want to cry about the defense, our injuries? And then people want to move the goalpost on injuries. They're like, well, Waddle and Tyreek, they were kind of like in A-chain them. They were banged up. Like, what's wrong with y'all? Like, every team got banged up players or players that ain't playing. Well, there's some of our best players. All these teams got some of their best players banged up. You're not making any sense. You're making excuses to be let down every time. When are you ready to have the real conversation? The reason why we can't beat the good teams and why we can't get over the hump is because their quarterback is better than ours. Because in the biggest games, defense doesn't matter. This isn't the old school league. This isn't the Bears of old where the defenses dominate. The Baltimore Ravens had the best defense in the NFL, if you ask me. What did that matter to the Chiefs? The Chiefs had one of the best defenses in the league, but at the same token, Patrick Mahomes still ran up against another great defense to do what he had to do. San Francisco broke through Kansas City's defense, but Mahomes still did more than Purdy. Look at Purdy versus the Lions. Like San Francisco got a good defense. The score was 34-31. Y'all think that these defenses have really been impacting the playoffs over the last couple of years? No. It's the quarterbacks. Every time Josh Allen played Patrick Mahomes, 28-27, 35-33, 35-31, all of that crazy stuff. You think the defenses matter, and both of them have great defenses in the regular season. These quarterbacks ball out, but which one makes more plays than the other? Josh Allen had a phenomenal game. He missed Shakir wide open in the end zone. Patrick Mahomes win. If you don't miss him in the end zone, Patrick Mahomes gets sent home, and Buffalo might be hosting a Lombardi, ladies and gentlemen. But the quarterback beat him. Mahomes is better than Josh Allen. But the saddest part about it is comparing Josh Allen to Tua, Lamar to Tua, and Mahomes to Tua, and Burrow to Tua. We ain't got a shot in the gun range, and that's what it's going to always come down to. And the saddest part about it is, you don't notice we're starting to strip talent away from the team? So even if you want to live off of that defense and team around Tua that could carry us, we're starting to strip it just to make room for money. And it's going to get worse and worse once we give them the money. It's going to get worse and worse. Worse and worse. The real conversations. We see these things before they happen, but people don't want to acknowledge that there's a high likelihood that it's going to happen this exact way that I'm saying. And then when it goes down this way, we're going to look back and say, well, what do you want us to do now? We gave them the deal. I mean, what's the solution? The best thing to do is to try to figure it out around them. Yeah, after the fact, you want to say that. Deep down, many of y'all don't see the vision. Y'all want to listen to these writers out here talking about, well, even though we lost a lot, when you look at the collective pieces we brought in, technically we got better. Y'all keep letting these people lie to y'all. Keep letting them lie to y'all. We had one of the best centers in the NFL. Right now, we don't have anyone. Hopefully, we address it in the draft. But I'm talking about right now, since they want to talk about collectively we got better, let's talk about it. We had one of the best centers in the entire NFL. Right now, we have no one. We had one of the best guards in the NFL. Miss me with any guard that we brought in compared to Robert Hunt. Stop it. Oh, but he's a great run blocker. Stop it. We already was a good run team, but we need the pass blocking. Easy. We got better. Oh, well, we brought in some nice linebackers, situational linebackers. One of them that stopped the run and one of them that stopped the pass. Once again, we continue this perpetual state of situational linebackers. At what point do we just get the dog that we missed out on to Baltimore and these other teams that's sitting right there? I don't know why I'm running a blank right now. What's his name that Baltimore traded for that most of us was beating the table? Go get him. Go get him. What's his name? Y'all help me in the chat. Y'all know. When do you just stop the crap and go get the real player? At what point? Yeah, Patrick Queen. I don't even know why I'm tripping. Patrick Queen. The same one. No, it ain't Patrick Queen. It's Roquan Smith. Roquan Smith. Patrick Queen, the one that went on PFT and said, oh, the Dolphins offense, they have tails. We ain't worried about them. It was Roquan Smith I'm talking about. Well, but they're better linebackers. Situational. And what happens when you get caught on the field with a hurry-up offense? Same thing that we always deal with every time. Same crap. Sell us on, stop. Cornerback position. Oh, he's a better corner than he better than the growing injury Xavier Howard. I give you that. But at the same token, let's stop. He can cover, but he gives up too many big plays. Why is that? Why is it that he led the league in touchdowns given up? His coverage grade is good. Like, I don't care that you have 5 plays in a game where you covered great and gave up 7. Like, we need somebody who ain't giving up touchdowns. That's the trade-off. Like, I'd rather a person that give up 30 yards worth of passes on a drive, but the team still punt, than a guy who will shut you down 3 times and then give up a touchdown. Make it make sense. Like, I could see if it was 4 or 5 touchdowns, but wasn't it 9? Come on. In the NFL, that's a guy who, on a regular basis, getting torched. And on the big plays. I ain't even going to comment on Poyer. We got better at safety. You better hope so. We don't know who Poyer is now. I know he was on a decline in Buffalo. I know he got a step slower. But Miami might put a new pep in his step. I don't know. But this whole notion that we got better overall, what we brought in is not better than Andrew Van Ginkel, Robert Hunt, Connor Williams, and Christian Wilkins combined. It is not better. What we've brought in collectively ain't even close to being better than Robert Hunt, Andrew Van Ginkel, Christian Wilkins, and Connor Williams. It's not. Stop the cap and stop selling this cap to people. People out here trying to make you believe, well, collectively, if you really look at it, these are solid players. Career is actually winning this. This is the smart way. It ain't the smart way. It's the way you're being forced to operate, but you want to mask it as being smart. He had no choice. Talk about it smart. You have no choice. Because you put the team in this position by overpaying the better players and continuing to kick the can down the road with these restructured deals just to keep trying to make things fit. But as long as he has these justifiers running up and down here telling y'all how great it is, and then at the end of the season, they got a brand new excuse of why it all didn't work, we'll continue to be in this raggedy state. So what was the excuse last year? Well, let's be honest, y'all. A lot of people had injuries, but not on the level like we did, man. You cut that crap out. Half the guys that had injuries on our team, we didn't even lose for the whole season. It was a blessing to bring A-Chain back. It was a blessing to bring Mostert back when he missed. It was a blessing to get Waddle back and Tyreek back. Yeah, you lost Jalen Phillips and you lost Bradley Chubb, but excuse me, I don't think the defense was that much of an issue in some of them big games. They put up a fight best they can. You tell me another team gonna score 21, I should still feel good about winning. And nobody and their mama, injuries or not, can sit here and tell me that you expect the Dolphins in all of these big games to put up 7 points, 10 points, 7 points, 14 points. Glenn said, so now you saying it is Greer. I mean, you got to go to the root of it all. Greer is the reason we're going to stick on to a guy who has limitations, so we cannot do more than we want to do. Like, at what point are we also going to realize that Tua's going to take that next level? What next level y'all keep talking about? First of all, he didn't take another level in the last 2 years. His production just went up because we did what he already did well more. That's it. Let me help some of y'all out. If you know anything about basketball, there's a 3-point line and there's 2-pointers, okay? If you're 0% shooter for your career at the 3-point line, and you're a 100% shooter for twos, just hypothetically, we know that ain't realistic, but just to help people understand, if you just never can make a 3 and you make all your twos, everything inside of that line you can make. In every game, you take 7 twos and 3 threes, and you score 14 points every night. You score 14 points every night. Now, all of a sudden, you bring a new coach in and say, you are not allowed to shoot 3-pointers anymore. Those 3 threes that you attempt every game, we're going to attempt 3 more twos. And you make all 3 of them. Now you're scoring 20 points a night. Oh, they done hit a new level. They ain't hit no new level. They the same person they been. It's just your coach doing it the smart way. That's all that is. Well, they went from 14 points to 20. That's a new level. No, it's what it should have been all the whole time. But it doesn't mean you became a better player. That doesn't mean your game improved. That doesn't mean you added a new element to your game. You didn't reach this new level. You're the same person. You can't help some people, man. Like, this is like common sense. Like you just can't help some people. And then they try to argue with you and tell you wrong when the coach came in a press conference and said, I went over 700 good plays. I ain't worried about the bad plays. I threw them away. I went over 700 good plays, and I said, look at what you do well. We're going to stick with this, and we're going to do it more. He told you. And we did it more. And now the numbers go up more. Tua reached a new level. He's the same player. And it shows in the big games. And why? Because what do those teams do in the big games? They take away those 2-point attempts and they force you to shoot threes. And then you show up again of being the same person. Even worse, actually, because they make you take all threes. They ain't letting you take them twos. Sometimes they're like, hey, we gave them a 2 that time, and we got to stop. Don't let them get them twos. They clog the middle of the field. They take away the short stuff, so the first read isn't there. And they say, you better throw it outside the numbers. You better read your progressions because we're taking away the first and second. And they put you right back to that 3-point line. And what happens? Oh, the old version shows up. The old version shows up. They can't even show you on film tangibly. You see what Tua's doing right here? Yeah, he's doing that a lot better. Look at the improvement. He used to not do this. They can't even show you that. All they could do is show you to feel good about themselves or anticipated throws. He did the same thing with Brian Flores. Quick little slants, quick little throws in the flat. Same thing. Now we're just putting a little bit more depth in the middle of the field when other teams leave it open. And we don't get that. He's the same player. It's just he got a smart enough coach that knows how to get more out of it, more production. Remember, that's the key. Tua is putting up more production. First of all, he's putting up more production because he's playing more now. Second off, he's putting up more production because he's throwing the ball more now. And third, he's doing the things that he already do well more. But again, you just got to go to all those teams that destroy us, right? And look at what they do, how they take away the things he do well and force him to do the things he don't do well. And why is it that he turns right back into the old version? If he's elevated his game and reached a new level, then why does it never show up when teams do that? Like, and that's the crazy thing. We can literally say it never shows up in those games. Well, he beat the Cowboys. It didn't even show up in that game. That's why we kicked 5 field goals. And 2 or 3 of them field goals was because we got a turnover already in field goal range. Not because he took us down there. Like, it never shows up. Well, don't say never. Arizona game. See, we're talking about a week 5, 6, or 7, or whatever, in the middle of the season where he showed a few flashes and a juke run and made a few passes. And let's not forget, it was Arizona. TD just blabbing. I know I am. I'm blabbing right now. I know I'm blabbing right now. It's all we can do. We got to live with this crap. So, who do you want as quarterback, TD? That's simple. I just want another shot at quarterback. I wanted somebody who we can look at and say, hey, he has potential. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Oh, he ain't it either? Oh, crap. Well, hey, how can we maneuver to the next person to see what we got? See, y'all so stuck on somebody who's just barely getting us to the playoffs. Yeah, but that's still good. It's better than the past. All right. When if the man play 20 years and get us to the first round 10 times and exit, it's still gonna be better than the past. But what did it amount to? And there's no evidence of taking another level. There's none. So let me say this. How much longer do we suffer with Tua? As long as Chris Greer is the general manager, the team will suffer regardless who the quarterback is, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Because obviously, the one area he is not a great gauge of talent is at the quarterback position. He's just not. He's not. Tua slow. He doesn't have arm strength at all. He cannot read defenses post snap while it's happening. I always felt like he was good in the pocket, but last year I felt like he created pressure a lot of times. He can't throw outside the numbers with either accuracy or the proper timing. And he's not an athletic quarterback to where when things break down and trouble ensues, you feel good about what he can create out of it. That's just who he is. Now, what does he do well? He can throw the ball in anticipated spots. And as long as the receiver is in the spot when he's supposed to be, it looks beautiful. His timing and his precision in the timing, pretty good. Mechanics, for the most part, are really good. For the most part, he gets sloppy sometimes, but for the most part, they're really good. Tua has really good mechanics. Um, One moment, y'all. You need me? Hold on. Give me a second. My bad. That's who he is. Tyreek is making this man right now. The run game is making this man right now, which ain't a bad thing. Every quarterback deserve a good run game, honestly. But not once have I seen Tua really elevate his team when it mattered most. Not once have I seen him be the leader on the sideline in the big game. Why is it in week 4 I could see him, come on, guys, come on, come on. But in week 16 or something like that, he over there looking like a droop on the sideline. Be honest with you, man, I always hold out hope for Tua. But I'm kind of like over it because I've always wanted to be wrong about him. I always wanted to be proven right. Um, I just don't see it. Don't make me right. You can come out here and shock the heck out of me this year. It'll be a beautiful sight. I just don't see it. And I feel like, dang, like I kind of hate wasting my time knowing what's gonna happen before everybody else. It's like imagine knowing what's gonna happen in a situation before everybody else, but they don't see it. So you got to go through the pain with them for them to finally see it. And then you look back and you're like, I just went through 4 or 5 years when, like, how did we not see this in the first place? Like it was right there in our face. And it's going to take constant misery to be like, all right, at this point, he not the guy. Like every year, a new group of people tell me, yeah, I don't think he the guy now. Every year is like a new group of people, but even those people end up going right back to, yeah, he had 7, 8 games in a regular season. Oh, no, he is. I mean, it's just so frustrating, man. Like, you want to get to start winning right away. Get to that dude. Like, and why is everybody else like getting them at a faster rate now? Like, I want y'all to think about that. Like, look at all the quarterbacks in the league, right? Look at all the quarterbacks in the league. I want to start with the worst example because people are going to try to tell me I'm wrong. But the Chargers don't have no questions by Herbert. They don't feel like Herbert's the main issue. They don't feel like Herbert isn't capable of delivering whenever they put the right nucleus around him. Even though his track records say he's fallen short a little, but they don't feel like he's the issue. Like even the fan base, like everybody knows this. Like they showed the statistics of how many games Herbert put up 28 points and still lost. And big games and all. And we around here talk about a guy who putting up 7 and is trying to defend that. They don't have a question about Burrow. And I'm talking about the most recent guys in the last 4 years. I mean, Houston, first strike and they get CJ Stroud. I don't care if he played like a bum this year. You saw the potential. And this is part of the point too. We're talking about guys who have proven in big moments that they can show up. It don't mean they don't fail in big moments. Everybody still fails in big moments. But at least give us a few big ones where you're like that guy. Like, ooh, did you see what he did? When it was all on the line. I mean, you had freaking CJ Stroud division on the line. Give me. First round playoffs. Give me. Jordan Love is in his first 4 years. Division on the line. Give me. First round playoffs. Give me. And the next weeks they played bad and didn't win, but at least they've showed moments. See, this is what I'm talking about. Stop trying to compare. Yeah, but then they got beat bad by this team the next week. No, but at least they've showed moments. Like Tua. Go ball out versus Buffalo to win the division and then go play bad versus the Chiefs. At least you showed us versus Buffalo, but we can't even get that. No matter, like all of these quarterbacks, y'all. Somebody said Watson trash now. At least they knew what they saw in Houston. You see what I'm saying? At least what they saw in Houston gave them hope, and that's why they still feel good. They saw him in big moments in Houston. They saw him take down Josh Allen in the first round of the playoffs. So no matter what he looking like right now, removed from football, at least they have a justification to still have hope. Like, where's our justification coming from? We don't have zero evidence that we don't have zero evidence that this guy can do something for us in the big moment. Zero. Jay, I do need a hug, bro, because I'm like, man, how do people not see this common, regular, obvious stuff? We always trying to make things fit around a guy that we all know ain't the complete deal of what we want. We try to literally take this limited guy and say, well, he's such a good person, and he's not a bad quarterback. So, what can we do around him to make this work and blah, blah, blah. That's the one position you can't be playing around with like that. That's the one position that'll waste 10, 12 years. You don't play like that at that position. You know who he is and what he is and his limitations. He ain't a big time guy. He's not a big moment guy. He don't even have the intangibles to be a big time guy. He don't have the ability to go down the field for a 75-yard rushing touchdown to be explosive. He ain't got the arm to throw it 60 yards for a touchdown. He might could throw it for 45 and they run the rest. He ain't got the intangibles. Here we are trying to make things fit around mediocrity. And all Tua does is remind me of Ryan Tannehill with the Tennessee Titans when he had the O-line, when he had the run game, when he had the receivers, how he just balled out. How he just balled out when the circumstances around him were perfect. We sit around here 2 years ago, Tua had a 105 passer rating, highest in the NFL. Tannehill had a 116 that year. The year he balled out in Tennessee with everything around him. Number 1, 2, or 3 in almost every statistical category. Real talk. I'm going to be honest with you, bro. The truth is we actually need more haters then. H said, if you sound like TD, you're a hater. We need more haters. We need more people talking the truth. We need more. Because we know the new definition of hater in the Webster dictionary now. Hater derives from the definition of telling the truth that is uncomfortable for those who don't want to hear it. That's what a hater is now. Dolphinier said, TD, no notification, you were live, shaking my head. Every time I, have a spurt where I talk about my faith and how much I love God, my subscribership go down, the notifications don't get sent out. It's normal, bro. Thanks for finding me and tuning in. It's normal. It's like clockwork every year. Every time I overly, because lately I've been overly telling y'all how much I love God. This always happens. So it'll go away eventually. AB said the definition of hater changed. Yeah. You got to stay up on these definitions. They change all the time. They change all the time. I just get frustrated. That's all, y'all. I'm not Chris Greer. I'm a guy who challenges things, but I also don't like weak takes. I don't like weak mentalities. I love rebuttaling things that I feel are weak. There's certain things that people say all the time, like, Oh, so we're supposed to listen to you and trust what you're saying over a NFL general manager like Chris Greer? Please, who do you think has more credibility? Do you know general managers get fired every year? Like they'll say, like who would listen to you over any general manager in the NFL? Can you please answer to me why general managers get fired every year? Please, tell me why general managers get fired every year. Sometimes just that normal person off the street observing and doing his research can be more right than what many people say are the professionals in the field, because those same professionals get fired. But why? Do you ever ask yourself why general managers get fired? Anybody want to take a crack in the comment section and take a guess at why general managers get fired? Because they ain't no good at their job. Just like some head coaches get fired. Just like some head coaches get fired. Cap said our general manager is going on 8 years. And what does he have to show for it? 0 playoff wins. 2 playoff appearances in 8 years. And I'm not even claiming to be smarter than anybody, but stop with those ridiculous comments. Because you know one thing that I always say on this channel that is fair to everyone. This is my opinion. I either disagree or agree with yours, but time will tell. Time will tell. You know, some people, like, I ain't gonna lie, some people, they're like, I can't believe this guy has a lot of people that listen to him. He don't know nothing about what he's talking about. He must have all idiots that listen to him. You want to know why a lot of people are locked into this channel sometimes and they listen quite a bit? Because they witness when I do things like, we need to trade Xavier Howard now. When I say that 3 years ago, and they literally watch the people verbally murder me. And then I give the reason, the logic behind why I say we should trade Xavier Howard now. And then I give them the pros and cons of trading Xavier Howard now. And they literally crucify me. Not literally, figuratively, but yeah, make sure I correct that. That's what they do. And 3 years later, I go back and I say, after they're killing me in the chat 3 years ago, and I say, we ain't got to argue no more. Time will tell. And I debate other people in the Dolphin community about it. I go on this platform, that platform, and I'm giving them my stance. And they're like, you done lost your mind. And then I always tell them, I don't have a problem with your opinion. It's just my opinion. We can agree to disagree, but guess what? Time always tells. And then we come 3 years later and you break down, should we have traded Xavier Howard 3 years ago? Anybody and their mama right now would say, yeah, I wish I would have knew. Oh, but I was telling you. And then I told you all the reasons why. And didn't it turn out the exact way? You can't trust his injury history. Number 2, corners start going downhill. You put going downhill plus the injury history, he may not even be the same player. Plus, on top of that, we're rebuilding. Why are you going to pay a player in his quote unquote prime while you're rebuilding? You just got a good player making money with no thought of actually winning. And then 3 years from now, when we're ready to win, the injury and lack of playing better is even a bigger risk. And here we are 3 years later, and we release Xavier Howard. But nobody is this is why they listen to me. This is why they listen to me. Because there's stuff up and down all day, every day, where time is telling and I'm on the right side of time more than I'm not. Y'all, we got to pay Raheem Mostert. No, we don't. He under contract for one more year. His agent would be an idiot if he didn't go to Chris Greer and say, you got to give my boy more money. I mean, look at what he's accomplished this year. You cannot make him play this last year. You got to give him a little bit more. Nah, bro. I mean, we don't have to pay him. Some of these things are common sense. It don't take no rocket science. It don't take a genius. I'm not claiming to be a genius, but if you understand the game of football, understand salary, understand positions, understand all that stuff, some of this stuff ain't rocket science. And when I say it, people argue with me, but there are people that watch me every day that's taking receipts. But you know what they can appreciate the most? When time finally tells and I'm ever wrong, I come on and I tell them I never saw that happening. I was definitely wrong about that. But what some of y'all don't like is I don't have to come on and do that often. I don't have to come on and do that often at all because it's not very often where I'm doing that because the evidence is right in front of our face. Some of us just want to ignore it for the sake of hope. That's why people watch me. That's why there's a large following, a large amount of people who watch me all the time. It's that simple. But then you have the people that watch me who are actually, my biggest, detractors. But I love y'all. Like some of y'all, let's be honest, like H in the comment section right now. I enjoy y'all coming on because y'all spew these false narratives and I just get to debunk them all the time. Because y'all bring the arguing points of the community and I get to show you logically why it's just not true. Because information is very important and people are out here working 9 to 5s, hard workers all day, every day, but they love their team. They want to know what's going on. They want to know the truth. They don't have the time nor energy to be looking it up themselves. So they turn the channels to get the information they need. Tell me what I need to know right now. So when they get all of these false narratives out here, it's people like y'all. I get to just read your comment in the comment section, another false narrative and debunk it and give a logical reason why and allow time to tell. That's it. Allow time to tell. You know, the funny thing is, that's why you're over here listening in the first place, because you keep letting time tell. You keep being wrong and you stick around and say, I'm going to get them eventually. That's why you got to throw things in the comment section like you just did. This guy said Gesicki was a beast. He obviously wrong. Yeah. That's why you got to results and stuff like that. It's that simple, man. So at the end of the day, Chris Greer is failing us. I'm going to continue to show y'all why. And when he starts making good decisions, I'll tell you when I feel like they are. I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing with y'all. I'm not going to give y'all false hope. Trust me, I'm searching for the hope because when I find it, I'm going to share it with the world and be glad to do it. But I don't get fooled by the false hope anymore. And I know all the signs of false hope. I know what they look like and how they come. And I've been pointing them out to y'all because that's all we've been in, a heavy dose of it. False hope. Dennis said, you have a resume of being on YouTube every day, which is a fact. Well, not every day, but I get your point. Go try to get you a head coach or GM job and see how far you get on that. I'm the type of person, Dennis, that says if I really wanted to go do that, I'll move up the ranks and I'll be very successful and I can actually end up being a head coach for a team one day. I truly believe that, but that's not a desire of mine. I love breaking down the team. I love breaking down all the decisions we make and what we do and being able to talk about the team. This is what I love. This is what I wanted to do. When I worked in corporate America, believe it or not, I'm one of the best coaches that I know. I've actually taught coaches. I teach coaches how to coach, whether it's in business or sports. It's what I do. It's exactly what I do. But some people won't, I know automatically some people won't see that or understand that, but it's actually exactly what I do. I'm a great coach. When you talk about the NFL landscape, never had a desire to get into it or do anything like that. I've considered it once, but at this stage of my life, I can't 25-8 it. I can't work 25 hours a day and 8 days a week because that's what it would take. If I was 22 years old and had a passion then with no kids and no commitments in my life, then that's something that I might do. But that ain't the case in my life. And the crazy thing is, see, and to me, it's that type of mentality. Go try to do what they do and see how that works. That ain't nothing but a challenge to me because I'm a dog. When it comes to challenges and going to get it, I'm a dog. Line me up, you're not going to work harder than me. You're not going to pursue it harder than me. You're not going to put the effort in. The only thing that you'll beat me in is maybe the God-given things. But outside of that, yeah, I got this up here, a mentality. I'm a dog. I'm a win. And after I win, I'm a re-win. That's who I am. If I fail, I gotta go win. And failure doesn't disappoint me. It encourages me. This mental thing, I am a dog. And guess what? Nobody can tell me I'm not. They can say it, but it doesn't affect me. I don't let what other people say about me affect me. It's none of my business what somebody else think about me. None of my business. I hear it. I hear my haters. I hear my supporters. I hear all that, but it's none of my business what anybody else think about me. Go get it, TD. Go get it. Go win. Go take that next level. While my haters out here fighting and scrapping with each other, I'm reaching that next level. Eyes on the prize, man. Eyes on the prize. Somebody said, and TD is humble too. I'm very humble. But when we start talking this talk, it ain't cockiness, it ain't arrogance. It's just a mentality of winning. A mentality of winning. And on top of that, I know who got my back. And I see, I got the best backing that in the world. Money can't buy it. I believe in God. I believe that he blesses work when you put it in, especially when you have the right intention. I am a dog. Fearless. Go-getter. So all that extra stuff, hey, go see how you do if you were to try. By all means necessary. If I wanted to, I would. And I know I'm a win. I know I'm a win. See, and here's a part of what I'm always talking about. That's why I don't have empathy, sympathy, whatever one you want to use for like the whole Flores thing. You can't talk to people that I don't have. See, it's all mentality, and it shows in your performance. You could be a great person. You could be a nice person. You could be a humble person, but it's still a mentality you got to have. It's still a certain level of mentality you got to carry, that you got to believe. You have to be rock solid up here. You got to be able to transform this to defeat anything. Like I heard something recently that was very profound to me. I forgot who said it, but they said they were talking to Tom Brady recently. And Tom Brady was basically saying, just wait on the magic. And he was kind of saying the difference between him and other players, magic is all around us. And when we say magic, that moment is right around the corner. It's about to happen, that magic moment in the game. I know that in the third quarter, the magic is about to strike. I don't fret. I wasn't great in the first and second half, but it doesn't bother me because magic is going to strike. Like you believe it already. You know what's coming. You know. You keep at it. Keep at it. You ain't letting these naysayers and these haters and all that bring you down. You ain't letting these people derail your vision. You ain't letting none of that happen. These people all out here on these streams with my name in their mouth every week. You see me in it anymore? Nah, because I'm waiting. I'm waiting on my agent to send that next contract. I'm signing something or I'm negotiating something. I'm taking that next level. Why they fighting? They doing this and doing that, and all with my name and all of it. Like, dang, I ain't even been in the fray in 2 years. I've been good out here, but my name still ringing. No. Mentality. That's why I look at this team and I say, where the dogs at? Where the dogs? Where the true dogs? I don't hear it in these press conferences. Like dogs exude themselves. You can hear it in the way they talk. You can hear it in the way they talk. How they move, how they act, how they respond. Just saying, man. Just saying. So hopefully that handled that. All right, let's move forward. Let's go to the next one. All right. Let's see here. Why not go get Reddick instead of letting the Jets get him? We ain't got no money to go get Reddick. You think we could have took a $15 million hit right now? We don't have the money to go get Reddick. That's a simple one. Okay. Are we really Super Bowl contenders? Everybody's a Super Bowl contender, but I know what you mean when you say that. No, we're not. We'll need a lot of fortunate things to bounce our way. First of all, you'll need a high level, like 90% of healthiness throughout the roster. And even in that 90%, the 10% that do get injured on every team every year or more, you need about 15. Yeah. It's in there. The other 15, I mean, every team deal with 15, 20% of injuries, but you'll need only 10. And out of those 10% that do get injured, they can't be key players in key positions. You can't afford to lose one of your top defensive ends. You can't afford to lose one of your top receivers. You can't afford to lose one of your top corners. You can't afford to lose your quarterback at all. You can't afford to lose one of your running backs. See, that's the problem with this team. There's too many things that have to go right for us to be contenders. And ain't no team in the NFL, everything goes right. See, everybody look at the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. Go look at what they went through this year. Injuries and everything. Not to mention, they had two of the worst tackles in the NFL this season. People forget the Chiefs, they lost both of their good tackles. And they won a Super Bowl with not great tackle play. But they can make up for not having great tackles because their quarterback can maneuver and improvise and extend plays. This was my argument all the time with the Lamar Jackson thing and why I wanted him. Because if the O-line isn't great, you at least got somebody who can extend plays. It gives you a better opportunity. Too many things need to go right for us to be contenders and be there. And we'll need misfortune from a lot of other teams. Like, we don't even think about the fact that we were a wild card team and had the Bengals, the Jags, some of those other teams that just missed the playoffs didn't have the major injuries like we did. They probably would have ended up with a better record than us, and we wouldn't have made it. So we need a level of that type of favor. Then on top of that favor, we need a level of favor of not many injuries. And then we need our quarterback to take a whole nother level in his play. I already told y'all he exceeded his ceiling. I told y'all that. He exceeded his ceiling. Let me ask y'all a question. Which season was Tua better? 2023 or 2022 or 2023? 24 is playoffs. So 22 or 23. Which season was he better? Which season was he better? Mm. 23, 23, 22, 23. So that's a 22. 22, 22, 22. Somebody said none. 23. So far, we split right down the middle, and I knew this was going to be the case. I knew this was going to be the case. Which season was he better? Concussion year, huh? They were the same. The only reason you think the concussion year was better is because you didn't get to see him finish the season in bombing fashion. But this year you got to see him finish it in bombing fashion. But since you didn't get to see it, you still want to give him the benefit of the doubt and say what he would have did had he been healthy. People don't understand. They were the same. Well, his QBR dropped. It would have dropped 2 years ago if he would have finished the season. Them last games when it mattered most. It would have dropped then anyway. If you want to go find Tua's QBR last year at week 13 compared to this year around week 13, it was probably the exact same. The only reason it dropped is because he actually finished the season. And all y'all sat there and said, if he would have finished the season, he would have did even better. Oh, well, this time he had a chance and he didn't do even better. He did worse. Well, not worse because we didn't see the one before. So it was the exact same. Tua is who he is. And as soon as we recognize that, the better off we'll be. Okay? Man, we're an hour and a half in. I only got through 3 questions. We'll finish in the morning. Y'all know I'll do tomorrow. I ain't gonna say the morning. I'm taking my daddy fishing tomorrow. So we'll finish up some tomorrow. I'm gonna go hang out with the wife. She like, you say you're gonna spend some time with me. Come on. That's why she keep coming in here. I'm like, ugh. So it ain't I love spending time with my wife. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just letting y'all know what the deal is. All right. So we're gonna end this for the night, but I want y'all to think about the 2 seasons and compare them. But don't be fooled by the fact that he didn't finish, so you're giving him the benefit of the doubt. Trust me when I tell you, it would have been the same result. It would have been the same result, and them numbers would have went down anyway. They were already going down. Just FYI. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Fans up no matter what. I will see y'all later. Y'all take care and God bless you all. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace. I'm out.